Hi, everyone. Welcome to Louis Van Amstel's podcast with me, Louis. This is going to be a fun one, lighthearted. I want to talk about Dancing with the Stars, but not necessarily what happened from 2005 on, but how did Dance with the Stars come about? Where is it from? Many of you probably know bits and pieces, but I want to go back all the way past World War II. After World War II, England, the BBC, started airing a TV show called Come Dancing. Come Dancing for many, many, many years. I don't even know exactly, don't hold me to when I say after the Second World War, that could still be 50s or 60s. But many years ago, that show was called Come Dancing in England on the BBC. And the concept of this show was, of course, ballroom dancing, but counties competing against each other. So each county in England was represented, and they would have a standard couple, waltz, tango, quick-step, Viennese waltz and foxtrot, or a Latin couple, cha-cha, samba, rumba, paso doble, jive, a formation team, and I even believe disco was part of it. Well, many categories of ballroom dancing were represented, and they would compete against each other. And ultimately, by the end of the season, there would be a winner. So, fast forward to the early 90s. This show has been the number one TV show from what I hear. Saturday night, it was the number one show for so many years. 30, 40 years. So then, I guess they ran out of ideas, or maybe the BBC felt like, okay, we need to put a new jacket on it. So what they were doing, England against Europe. Well, guess who was from Europe? Me. My dance partner, Julie Fryer, is from Manchester, England, but she had moved to Holland. And we had started dancing in 1989, which of course I'm going to talk about in many other podcasts. They started doing England against Europe. And that was what we didn't know at that time, the last year of Come Dancing. But now it was England against Europe. And I don't even know the result. This is so long ago. What I remember from it is my first experience on TV in England on the BBC, and it was amazing. We had a great experience. So that was Come Dancing. Keep that in mind. We in our industry have a very big competition. It's called the United Kingdom Championships. It's still every January in Bournemouth, the UK, but it was always televised by the BBC. So in 1991, Julie and I made the final, and this was televised on the BBC. Then in 1992, we were in the final again. And it was televised again. Angela Rippon was the host. Fun little side fact. I believe Angela Rippon did Strictly Come Dancing 2 years ago in 2023 or 2024 as a celebrity. So it's fun to know that she was the host in the early 90s on behalf of the BBC. She was interviewing all the finalists, and then later, many years ago, she was one of the contestants. So in 1992 was also the last year that it was televised. So I guess there was a new regime or a new CEO, president, that I guess didn't want Come Dancing, didn't want the BBC to air the United Kingdom Championships ever again. So dance was taken off the air. Now this was early 90s. Now fast forward, Baz Luhrmann produced Strictly Ballroom, a comedy, Australian comedy based on ballroom dancing. Now, it's embarrassing for ballroom dancing. But if you just take that side away, it was actually funny. And if you haven't seen it, go see Strictly Ballroom. I think Baz Luhrmann did a fantastic job. He blew it out of proportion what our industry really is like, but there is some essence of that movie that is true. It's just not as cheesy as that movie is, but then again, it was a comedy or a dramedy, if you will. So go see it. Strictly Ballroom, Baz Luhrmann. I believe it was early 2000s. I don't know. But again, Strictly Ballroom. And remember, the English show dancing, ballroom dancing on TV, post-World War until the early 90s, Come Dancing. Come Dancing, Strictly Ballroom. Now, fast forward to now early 2000s. I guess there was a guy called Richard Hopkins. I guess he convinced either there was a change within the BBC again, or this producer, or I believe he convinced the BBC, hey, remember that show Come Dancing? The #1 show for many years? Well, here's a concept. What if instead of counties dancing against each other or countries dancing against each other, what if we pair up a ballroom pro with a celebrity and do the same thing? So now you would have a professional dancer with a celebrity team up and compete against each other. And then at the end of the season, there is a winner. Well, if you have the BBC and watch the English version, it is called Strictly Come Dancing. In the United States, we know it as Dancing with the Stars, but in England, it's Strictly Come Dancing. So, now you know, if you didn't already, why was it called Strictly Come Dancing? Well, for many years, the BBC aired Come Dancing. And then there was the movie from Baz Luhrmann, Strictly Ballroom. The show is based on ballroom dancing, so... And I'm going to be extremely frank here. This is my assumption. But I believe 100,000% that that's where the name came from. So this was 2003, 2004. And then in 2005, I still remember it. It was January or February. I was teaching in New York City, in Dance, New York, Manhattan. And I got a call from this guy, Joe Sunker. Hey, Louis, can you please give me a call? I want to talk about an opportunity, and it's for American TV. Okay, well, I heard that voicemail, boom, called him back, and then he shared with me, well, ABC is going to test out this show about ballroom dancing, and a professional will team up with a celebrity, and we're going to test this out in the summer of 2005. Would you be interested? Would I be interested? What? That was an easy answer. I had retired very young, pretty much at 26, from competing, moved to the United States, competed another 2 years with Karina Smirnoff, became national champion, and then in 2002 did a Broadway show with then my partner Joanna Lunas. So was I coming from ballroom dance competitive, Broadway, TV? Hell yes. So I then had to fly to LA. We pretty much did an interview like this with the producer asking questions for 45 minutes. And after that, I got a call and I was hired. Then I was asked, well, do you have any more names of other pros? Because we only know you. And how did they know me? Because many of the professional dancers that did the British version, Strictly Come Dancing, they knew me because those were all pros from my generation. So they knew me, but they knew no one else because at that time, I was still only one of the few European top dancers that had moved to New York City. So I said, well, I'm the coach of Alek Mazo and Edita Slavinska, and I think they would be fantastic on TV. And then, well, you know the rest because they were both on season 1. Alek actually won season 1 with Kelly Monaco. So that was fun. So in hindsight, Dancing with the Stars started way, many years ago as Come Dancing. Then it was taken off the air, and then the movie came out, Strictly Ballroom, and then in the early 2000s, and I guess the credit goes to Richard Hopkins. He was the one that then brought it to TV in England, BBC, and then it was brought to the United States. So Joe Sunker, I said it before in another podcast, it's fun to see that it's not us, the pros, that have amazing opportunities becoming public figures, be able to start businesses. Well, behind the camera is the same thing. Joe Sunker was a field producer. He was the field producer for my first celebrity partner and I, Trista Sutter. He went with us to Beaver Creek, Colorado to rehearse. He was behind that camera, and 5-6 years later, he is the showrunner. He's the co-executive producer of Dancing with the Stars. So congrats, Joe. So it's just fun to know that even with TV shows, there's a whole journey. Different twists are given, different intentions are given to it. And just to give you perspective, Dancing with the Stars started with 13.5 million viewers in a summer show. Apparently, that was unheard of with so much cable. Summer, again, people are outside, they're not watching TV. So it's 13.5 million viewers. Oh my gosh, as nervous as the entire team was, they were also so happy after the third episode, and the numbers just kept going up. And then the next season, season 2, season 3, we went up to 27 million viewers at one point. And I am so happy I was part of those seasons. The big success of Dancing with the Stars. And then, of course, the whole online platforms came. So even though the ratings are no longer that big, they're still extremely successful. That's why Dancing with the Stars is still on the air. And on ABC and Disney Plus at the same time. So you can just watch it at any time. Another fun fact is that in England, the show airs on Saturday night. And from what I hear from my friends that are on the show, Shirley Ballas is one of them. Some of the dancers are, to hear that it is by far the #1 show in the country. I believe 10% of the entire country watches Strictly Come Dancing on the BBC when they're in season. It's amazing. And just to be part of that franchise, Dancing with the Stars is in over 30 countries with their own show. It's just, what a mega machine that is. And why? Why do you think Dancing with the Stars, Strictly Come Dancing, Let's Dance, it's called in Germany. I mean, many other countries have their own title, but it's still Dancing with the Stars. Why? Dance. Partner dance. You get to see the connection between the two people. And I've said it before in other podcasts, but I've said it in interviews. I oftentimes bring in Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, and here I'm doing it again. In the late 1920s, these two, Fred and Ginger, and their movies, the MGM movies, got people out of their daily grind. And in that time, it was depressing. So many people were depressed because of what's happening in the United States, the Great Depression. Well, Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers took them out of that depression for at least the time they were watching that movie. So people idolized these two because they were responsible, and what they did, partner dancing, ballroom dancing, take them out of that daily grind. Now fast forward, 2005, Dancing with the Stars goes on the air with ballroom dancing, partner dancing. And why did you fall in love with that show? It made you feel good. You identified with many of the celebrities, and it took you Monday nights and Tuesday nights when we had the results show. It took you out of your daily ground of whatever life threw at you. Instead of making you feel down, that show lifted you up. And I've had many conversations with fans about it. What was it? And it was that. And then also the music, the costumes, of course, when things went wrong and you got some drama, of course, dramatic. But luckily, it was not as scripted. In the early years, I can tell you, it was not scripted. But also, if you look at the diversity of dancers that we have, myself, Max, Cheryl, Karina, just to name a few, just put a camera on us. We don't need scripted. And that was so much fun to be part of that, those early years of Dancing with the Stars. But just remember why. It's dancing, partner dancing, ballroom dancing, the interaction. And then, of course, how many of the group dances did we do? We're in this together, and you get to enjoy it as the viewer. Anyway, I went a little off script. I kept talking about Dancing with the Stars. But anyway, now you know where the show came from, and where the name came from. And hopefully the show will stay on the air in many, many more countries to just help uplift people and realize that dance is the best form of exercise, best therapy, most joyous and creative. Thank you.